Hi, everybody. I just wanted to share with you a super fun and awesome tool that you can use in Gemini related to these gems. It's already a pre-made gem, and I just think for certain grade levels, this is just going to be an absolute home run for you guys. So if you go to the Gemini area, you can get there from Google Classroom or just go to gemini.google.com. And again, if you hit the hamburger, if you don't have this little side area right here, and if you go to Explore Gems, one of the choices here is going to be Storybook. If you don't see it, expand this list. There's only 8 total, but one of them is Storybook. And this will literally create a storybook for you based on anything that you put into it. So when you click on this, it's a pretty simple interface. They give you some examples here. You can see some of the recent ones that I've been messing around with, but you can really personalize books and stories, have them created in a bunch of different artistic styles and things like that. So I just want to show you some examples of what I did and see if you can figure out a way to fit this into your classroom. So I'm not going to put anything here because I've already made a bunch. It does take, let me give you a couple of things before we start. It does take some time, anywhere from 2, 4, 5 minutes for it to create the story for you. I have not been able to create a story that's longer than 10 pages. So what I was trying to do here initially was create a coloring book for letters for like kindergartners, and it would only do 10 pages at a time. So just keep that in mind as well. And it can be a little glitchy. I'm not going to lie. I'll show you an example in just a second. But when it works, it's awesome. But it's definitely can be a little has some rough edges from time to time. But let's take a look at some of the storybooks I've created here. So this here is the coloring book, and I had it go from letters A through I. But what I did here in particular was I wanted to, in this example, create a coloring book using my students' names and their interests in class. So one thing I did, I'm going to go over to my Google Drive here, and this folder, the stuff that's in here is shared with you. It'll be in this email that I'm attaching this video to. And so I just created a fake survey. I did this actually for another gem for like math problems. So I just created a fake survey with students in my class and then things they like, their favorite animal, their favorite game, etc. And basically just have this in a spreadsheet. And so this data is what the gem is using to create the storybooks because I wanted it to create using my students' names and their interests and things like that. So the first way I did it was a coloring book. Now the cool thing is once it's made within this uh, gem area, the storybook area here, you actually do have like some page animations where you can flip the pages. So A is for Ava. Ava loves the bright butterflies. If I go back to my spreadsheet, you can see that Ava is right here and Ava loves butterflies. So it pulled that from the data that I gave it. B is for blue. It's Leanne's favorite color, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this I'm picturing you being able to print out in this case and have the kids color it, when you're working on a letter, whatever it might be. Here's one of the glitches. Notice that it actually colored in Olivia's dress here in this case, which, again, sometimes it's a little inconsistent with it, but I think we can overlook that. So this was one idea that I had. Then I did a second one where I wanted to do a different artistic style. So this one wouldn't be a coloring book. I did it, do everything as watercolors. And again, it's pulling from the spreadsheet with it. So K is for kite. Liam and Mia love to fly their bright kites. L is for Lucas and Liam. I'm not going to read this to you. But you can see everything that they're playing around with here. I did another one where I had it do it in an anime style. And again, pulling from the data. So everything that's in here is related to the students. And then last but not least, I had it just not do an ABC book, but just tell a story using my students and their interest with it. So you can see that when you're in this gem area, you get the page animations, you can make it full screen, things like that. So again, a couple limitations though. If you were to look up tutorials on these, people would talk about being able to share them. There'd be right up here, there would be a little share icon where you could share it with people, and even if they didn't have Gemini, they'd be able to have these animations. We do not have that access, and I don't mean WestG, I just mean any educational, whatever the word is I'm looking for. But we have an educational system set up, and for some reason, you don't have the share button there. But what you can do is you can print these, or you can save them as PDFs. So in the folder that I have shared with you, I've saved them as PDFs. So these could be printed out, they could be shown on the screen. whatever it is that you want to do. It's not quite as dramatic or as cool, but you could still end up doing it that way. But you could, you could display it on your TV if you were on your account with it. The other thing that I've shared with you here is this. This is the prompt that I use. Don't be overwhelmed by this. So this top part here was me explaining what I wanted. And this is one for the coloring book, but I only changed a few things when I wanted it to be anime or a story, things like that. But then the confusing part is this right here. This Storybook Gem, you can't upload like spreadsheets to it. It can't read them. I don't know why, but it just can't. So what I ended up doing was copying this spreadsheet like this and then pasting it in. And again, I always recommend when you're working with Gemini or Gems, do stuff in a Google Doc, get it the way you want it, and then just copy and paste that into the gem instead of trying to type in that little text box. So I just copied this spreadsheet, and then all I said was the data below is the spreadsheet. The first row contains the headers. Please read the columns carefully to match each student to their specific favorite food, animal, etc. Okay, so that's what I typed in. That's what AI told me to type in, to be honest with you. And then this is just what it looks like when it's pasted in. So to us, this looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, but the AI can read it and kept everything straight, and it was able to work just fine. So again, I didn't attach this Google Doc. Once I was done, I just copied this whole thing, and that's what I pasted into the prompt for this Storybook Gem. So I think for some of you, this is going to be an absolute home run out of the park. Just a really cool little thing to kind of tweak what you're doing in class and make it more personal for your students. So I hope you enjoy it. Please share with me anything that you share with your kids. I would love to come see it. Bring me in. Tell me, come look at the cool stuff that you created. I would love to hang out with your little ankle biters. All right. Have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy the Storybook Gem.